What's going on, friends? Logan Myers here for Cinephellas.com, and we're still doing that 31 Days of Horror. Tonight we're talking about the grandfather of zombie films, one of the OGs, one of the originals. I'm talking about 1968's Night of the Living Dead, directed by the late, great George Romero. So Night of the Living Dead was released in 1968. It was filmed in Pennsylvania on a very, very small budget, shoestring budget. The editing is kind of all over the place. The beginning of the film starts off with Johnny and Barbara going to a cemetery to lay a wreath on their father's grave. And off to the distance, they see somebody walking towards them. And Johnny starts wrestling with this guy. They kind of get in an altercation and they're wrestling around, and Johnny falls and like breaks his neck on the grave, the headstone. And Barbara's like in shock, like what the hell just happened? And this ghoul, as they call it in the movie, not zombie, ghoul, goes after her. And Barbara takes off and she finds shelter in a farmhouse nearby. And, she's scared out of her wits at this point. Her brother was just killed and she's trying to get away from this ghoul. And Barbara meets up with Ben at this house. Ben is also trying to get away from ghouls that he has come across. That basically sets up the story. They're in this farmhouse, and these ghouls are showing up out of the woods, surrounding them in this house. Barbara and Ben start barring off the windows and making sure that these ghouls cannot get into the house. And they find out that there's people down in the basement that were hiding out as well. Throughout the film, they find out on the TV radio that the ghouls are all over the world. They're thinking it's something that has to do with radiation that's bringing the dead back to life. But that's not really important. In this story, the focal point is them surviving. That's what Romero does really well, is just telling a story. You don't need these other elements to make you understand what's going on. These people are in survival mode in this farmhouse, and they're trying to survive from the ghouls because the ghouls are going to try to kill them, and that's all we need to know. Night of the Living Dead is actually in black and white, so it gives it that old school horror feel. We have Ben as the main character, played by the late Duane Jones, and he was just excellent in this film, and he really stood up for himself. Barbara kind of got whiny throughout the film. Ben was the standout performance in this film, and making sure these people listen to him in order to survive throughout the night. Overall, I love Night of the Living Dead, the original film that started it all, that started the zombie craze. What makes this movie unique, not only because it's one of the most successful independent films ever made, being shot on a shoestring budget, and it stands out compared to other films, on this time period in the 60s. I'm going to give A Night of the Living Dead a 5 out of 5 ghouls. What did you guys think? Have you seen the original Night of the Living Dead? Have you seen the remake that came out in the 90s? Have you seen the sequels, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead? What's your favorite of the franchise? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit subscribe. This is Logan Myers signing out from Pennsylvania. Until next time, cheers!